Hello everyone and welcome back. We are working with the cut cardstock papers today, and I am going to show you a really easy project using the pop tone papers from cut cardstock. So I'm showing some of the pieces that I've already pre-cut. I am using the basis navy paper from cut cardstock and just going to be cutting those into strips 2 inches wide by 8.5 inches and stapling them together at the end. This one is going to be the Sweet Tooth Pop Tone White, also stapling those pieces at the end, cut by 2 by 8.5, and then the Wild Cherry Pop Tone paper. What you'll need next is a cardboard ring. Now I have purchased this one online because it has a sticky back, and this one just helps me hold my papers into place. But you can add glue or just cut your own cardboard ring if you want. They do not actually show up in the wreath, so that's absolutely fine if you want to cut your own. You could even cut it out of some really thick cut cardstock paper if you wanted. And then we're just going to pick a spot and start sticking them down onto the cardboard ring. Now, these will not hold indefinitely, so I am stapling them. The sticky back just helps me hold them in place while I decide where I want to lay them. And what you're going to do is start layering. I'm starting with the basis navy paper and just layering the loops one over another. What I'm actually doing here, what I decided to do is tuck it in to the inner loop. So if you noticed, I put the inner loop in first, and then the second loop I just tuck it underneath and staple it to my cardboard ring. And then just keep following that pattern all the way around with your colors. We're going to start with the basis navy, and we're going to go about 1/3 of the way around on the wreath. Once again, just tuck it in underneath in the loops, and then keep layering, keep following the pattern, turning slightly as you go, stapling them along the way. And the cool thing is the staples don't show in a project like this, but it'll hold really, really nicely even if you want to store it a little bit later. So just keep tucking those in and stapling all the way around till you get about 1/3 of the way around with one color. And then you're going to choose a different color. And so this one is going to be the Pop Tone Wild Cherry Red, cut in the same size strips and already pre-stapled. Keep following the pattern around. You can shift it around. That's what I love about the sticky back cardboard ring, so that it can move if it need to. And don't worry if it's not perfect, that's okay, or if the folds are showing too, that's okay, because when everything's layered in, it's going to look perfect, promise you. All right, and we're almost done with the red. Go another 1/3 of the way around until you're out of loops, and keep applying. And I used about 10 loops per color, so that's the Wild Cherry Red. And now finally we're going to add the Sweet Tooth Pop Tone paper in white, and finish out the loops. Keep following the pattern. Once we get to the end here, you'll need to pull up the loops just a little bit to tuck them in and staple them on. You can also flip the ring over and staple from the back if you don't get the staples just exactly where you need them, or if they fall out. But it's really nice to use the stapler because it actually holds it really, really tight. Here towards the end gets just a little bit tight. You just have to lift those loops up. Make sure you go back and staple if you missed one, and double check your work. And here's the final loops. We just tuck those in under the basis navy blue and do a final staple, and we are set with our ring. And it is such an easy project. It literally comes together in about 5 minutes. So we'll staple that one on. All right, there we go. Now we've got our wreath. So the next thing that you're going to do is take a die cut, preferably a star shape if you have it, and cut yourself some of the Sweet Tooth Pop Tone White paper in a large star. I wasn't quite sure what size I needed, so I chose my large star. I ended up only using 2 of these, but just to be safe, I cut an extra one in case I messed up. And then I'm going to use a scoring board and a scoring tool and create fold lines about a midway down on each of the 5 points of the star. And these create nice firm creases in the star so that I can fold them in, and we're going to get a 3D effect going on with these stars. So once you have those folds, start folding on the fold line all the way around your star. And what you'll notice is it actually gives a really popped up look on the star. Isn't that cool? That is so cool, and it looks really 3D. So go ahead and fold the rest of those. And then we'll get ready to decorate those as well. Again, super easy cut and fold. Not a lot of material that you need here. Okay, we are all folded. There we go. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a little bit of color. And so I'm just using an acrylic paint and sort of a robin's egg blue, if you will, with just a little extra water added. And I've grabbed an old toothbrush, just mix the water and the paint together to get more of a wet look to my paint. And I'm going to spray this onto my star to give it a speckled look. So make sure you mix it properly there and lay something down so that you can catch the overspray. And then I just run my finger over the toothbrush and start adding some speckled look to my stars. And this is the coolest way to look like, give it sort of a flecked look, if you will. Spray down my stars here. And then I'm going to do the same with my red, add a little bit of water again and go back over and speckle. And the great news is if you don't really like the way your paint looks, then just cut yourself another star. So, okay, I've got my assembled wreath. What I did off camera here is actually thread through some twine in the back to be able to hold my wreath up, deciding where I want my top to be. I decided to put the blue in the upper left-hand corner, just like an American flag. And then I'm just taking on the edges here just a light coating of tacky glue across all the edges that I think will probably touch the wreath. And I'm going to stick it on top of the blue area here. And I decided that my stars were so big I only probably needed 2 of them. So I will stick that down, and I did let this dry for about a half hour just to make sure those stuck down really well. Went back over it and added a little bit more glue. And so I'm going to add this one last star. So cute. I love it. And this again is that Sweet Tooth White. And just lay those down and let it dry for a little bit. And now I have my cute little wreath. I can hang it on the wall, or I can even put a candle or a candy dish in the middle. Such an easy project for those patriotic holidays. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. Come give us a follow at Cut Cardstock. We'll see you next time.